Well, she made it into town here. Filled up on the old gas. It's full. And we're looking pretty good. Everything seems to be okay. It's got a little bit of a drivetrain vibration, I think. But we'll see. I want to get it aligned and everything, but it is what it is after this. I'm done. I'm done with it. So that's going to be what it's going to be. It wasn't too bad. It drove 70 just fine. So we are looking okay. It's an old van, remember that. So, all right. So I didn't get you the driving that I said I would do yesterday, but we're doing it today. We got some errands to run. I got to pick up some stuff out of some storage for the 93 Grand Voyager, believe it or not. But here you go. We're driving the van. It's driving just fine. But I hear at low speed like a bounce or a hop coming from, I think it's the right rear. And I think I can hear it at speed too, but it's more like a hum because it's going fast. So there's something rotational. There's a rotational click or bounce or something, I think, coming from the right rear. So I'm not quite sure what that means, but it feels fine. It drives okay. It drove fine yesterday. I definitely had the rear brakes just a little tight, and that might have something to do with it too. It might be rubbing on one of the brake shoes just a little bit. I don't feel any vibrations. They weren't like hot, but they were warm. So I think they need to wear in, bed in as well. But we'll see. I'm going to drive it here for a little bit. I don't notice anything terrible. The cassette player works, by the way. Remember it sticks in cassette? Somebody blew a tire coming around this corner. Jesus, that's a bad spot to blow a tire. Anyway, it's all over the road. But yeah, so it seems okay. And I want to drive it a little bit, see what happens, see if it comes out of it, whatever little noise that is. It doesn't seem too major yet, but just something to note that it was kind of there at lower speeds. Right now it's fine. It's perfectly quiet. There's no shake or wobble in the wheel. You know, we're cruising fine, 60 miles an hour. So this thing rides nice. The heat's not very good. If you remember, when it would sit in idle, the heat is kind of like great. But like right now, it's negative 11 degrees. I'll give you that. It's negative 11 degrees out right now with a real feel of negative 30. So I'm not surprised. I mean, it's warm. I'm fine. But it's like feels like 40, 50 degrees in here. It keeps it kind of like lukewarmish. A lot better than outside. How about that? But it's not like hot. So I don't know if the heater core is weak, if the radiator's too efficient or something like that. You know what I mean? Because it heats fine when it's at idle, which tells me the heater core works fine. But either the radiator needs like blocked off or something, which it shouldn't. But you know, the way it is right now, and we put a thermostat in this thing too. So I don't know. Right now, I think it's cooling too efficiently, so, you know, your Band-Aid fix is to put a piece of cardboard in front of part of the radiator, the whole thing, and put holes in it, you know, like semi-trucks do and stuff, because they got big radiators that really keep them cold, so they don't get good heat at all. Or school buses is another one. School buses really love to not heat up in the winter. I remember that driving as a kid. It was always freezing on the school bus. So, anyway, we're going to get on to the highway here, and let's do an acceleration, and see how this thing goes. I think that was power steering wine. Might be a little low on power steering. I don't know. I gotta check fluids on this thing when I get home. Maybe not because it's cold, but some other day. Hey, this thing moves out of its own way, that's for sure. At 3.8, it moves. Definitely the most powerful and quick accelerating of the vans I own. This by a good margin. This thing moves. And the all-wheel drive does work. I did spin the wheels on a gravel road yesterday, and it kicked in, and you could feel it lock up, or engage. So everything seems to work. No noises at 65 here, no shakes, no rattles. Everything seems okay. It's just that low-speed hop, which who knows, it might be gone by the time we get home. Like I said, it's all, I don't know. Well, I'm hoping that it's just the rear drums that need to wear in because I set them a hair tight. But everything seems okay. Tell you, it's freezing out today, that's for sure. Okay, remember that little weird noise coming from the right rear? I can feel that brake's warm. The left rear is not warm anymore, so the left will warm. This one's probably a little tighter, because I remember adjusting the left rear out and loosening it, so I bet you that's what it is. This is binding a little bit. Well, against better judgment, I did drive the 94 to work today, and, well, we got some things to address. One, it needs clean. This is all the undercoating oil that got on this tire, but it has a shake in the rear, which I was talking about. Well, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I did mention that the brakes were warm. This one doesn't burn or like sizzle when I lick my finger and touch it. This one's not. This one's self-clearancing, because this is the one I adjusted even looser. The right side's still pretty hot. I mean, it doesn't like cook the drum red, but it's hanging a little bit. But also, it's got like a bounce to it almost. And if we do this, I feel wheel bearing play. Remember those wheel bearings that I said, they'll be fine. I won't replace them while I've got them out in the most convenient spot to do. Yeah, we got playing the wheel bearings. I'm pretty sure I want to get it up in the air and look at it. I ordered them anyway. I'm like, dang it, I'll just do it. Couldn't get them anywhere close. I had to order them on Rock Auto. They're all special order at every parts store, which is fine. I got them cheaper that way. And that makes me have to wait. So, anyway, we shook it down. We did roll 181,000 miles on the way home. 181,019, so that's cool. So we'll have to adjust the brakes. I don't think I cooked them too bad, but they definitely were hanging a little bit. So this one's probably fine. I'll probably tick it out just a little bit, but the right rear here needs to be adjusted out. But other than that, it drove okay. It runs fine. It's got an exhaust leak. I don't know. I don't remember if it was there before or not. You guys will have to remind me. I'll have to look at old footage. But I don't know if it's the manifold or if when I drop the exhaust down to do the muffler, if I ruin the donut gasket. But anyway, there's a little update on the 94. Hey everybody, I don't know where we're at here, but we're back working on the 94 Town Country to do the rear wheel bearings that I neglected to do before because I think they're bad, especially the right rear. I think the right rear is bad. So we get a weird noise, hop, click, and I think it's coming from the right rear. And if we recall, maybe that was on film, when I had the axles out, the right rear hub kind of seemed to have play in it. Right now, I had both wheels on it, up in the air. I shook the wheels. I couldn't feel any play, but when it was on the ground, you could rock the van and feel play somewhere back here. And I thought it was the wheel bearings. I guess it could be the bushings up here, maybe. But I don't know if that would make that feeling that I was feeling. Anyway, I also noticed the brakes felt fine despite being the one side still being warm. I might tick them back just a hair, but they seem okay to me. I don't know why they're warm, unless the parking brake is sticking a little. But even then, I still spun them okay. But anyway, otherwise, I'm just doing a look around, listen around. It's warm, it's up to temp. Little smoky coming out of here, but it doesn't smell bad. Just a lot of moisture, I guess. I don't know. Our undercoating looks really good. Muffler isn't leaking at all. Our undercoating looks phenomenal now that it's been driven. Look at that finish. That looks mint. That's really nice. So, hey, that'll go a long way in keeping it from rusting worse. However, over here to the overrun clutch, I see a little bit of a red-looking weep right here. That looks, yeah, that's red. So we are weeping just a little bit of trans fluid. Obviously nothing like it was. It looks like just a little bit, which that doesn't bother me. We'll just keep an eye on it. That's really easy to check. It's right there. So, something worth noting. And who knows, maybe I had a little bit in somewhere where it shouldn't be and it leaked out. I don't know. But it seems okay to me right now. Everything seems like it's fine. Looks okay. It's running. It's driving. The only noise I can hear is just a tiny little bit of an exhaust leak, which I think is the donut gasket when it's cold, because we dropped that exhaust and I probably moved it and it was a little brittle. It probably cracked. Otherwise, all we hear is this AC bearing when it's warm. Otherwise, sounds good. Seems to run okay. Not getting warm. The fans are cycling. I'm going to tighten the battery clamps real quick. 1/2 inch nut, and then I'm going to spray them so they don't corrode. And then we're going to get to work and we're going to tear apart these wheel bearings. And then we're going to put on these new Mevotech Supremes. So, I'll get to it. Well, we got some fun news here. I'll show you guys now that I can see it. So we're up here under the vehicle and we're getting a green drip. If we look right up there, you'll see the radiator is leaking. Frickin' fantastic. Nice. It's a slow leak, so I'm gonna ignore it for now. But the radiator is definitely popped down there at that bottom bit. Oh, how lovely. This van just keeps on giving gifts. I love it. I didn't even get to this point yet. I walked inside and I walked back out. I don't remember. I walked out with something and I saw this, just saw a drip coming out from under the tire there. So that's nice. We'll make a note to order a radiator for it. Dang it. Dang you. At least that's an easy one to do. You just pull the fan shroud off here, which is a couple of 10 mils, pop all the hoses off, slide the radiator out, up and out. That's an easy one, but I gotta drain the coolant again for like the 3rd time. Ugh. Okay, I got the drums pulled off here. We're just inspecting. I want to see how bad we did the brakes. As you can see, these ones, this brake was hot for a little bit and then it cooled off. So this one isn't very bad for wear. Maybe a little bit of wear on this shoe. This one's pretty thick. Like, you can still see the original surface where it wasn't really hitting. Same with this one. I think this shoe's just thinner. But, no, it seems okay. This one's not bad. I did adjust it in just a little bit anyway, just for shits and giggles. But everything looks okay. In fact, the adjuster's a little loose right now, but that's okay, because it's not being used. So, springs all are there. Looks good. Come over to the other side, the one that was still hot. Actually, I wanted to look. Yeah, see how nice and shiny that drum is? A little bit warm right there. You see a hot spot right there. Maybe where the drum isn't quite round. I don't know. A little bit of a hot spot right there. She got a little warm. Come over to this one. Maybe she got a little warm. I don't know. You guys think she got a little warm? Yeah. I don't know if that's like warped. I don't know. I know it's pretty easy to warp a rotor, but I don't know if this will actually like warp or what. But now we look at that. Let's go look at the shoes. This shoe, not really wear. Not too much anyway. This shoe, on the other hand, definitely took some wear. Yeah, the front shoe definitely took a little bit of wear. So we will very gladly adjust this guy in and call it good at that. My bad. You know. Whoops. So yeah, that's fine. Brakes look okay. They're serviceable. They work. We're good to go. We'll just make sure this guy gets adjusted. And to do that, you just pull this guy out of the way and just spin it in. If it'll spin. I don't know why that one's seized. Why seized? Why is that? Yeah, why? Interesting. Also, I noticed I didn't put grease on the adjusters. That was stupid. These will seize up if I don't do that right now. So I'm going to do that. Who was yelling at me that I missed the grease? Because I didn't even think of that. I mean, I greased that up. I greased all the points up, and then I didn't grease the adjusters. Idiot. So I'll do that. I'll adjust these in. That'll be good. Then we'll pull these bearings out. So thanks to them, you can get these out, obviously, without pulling the brakes or anything. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. We just got to pull the axles out. Which, do we have to pull the axles out, or can we get at the bolts? It's looking like we got to pull the axles out. Also, is that CV axle grease right there? What is that? Or is that I sprayed undercoating grease? What is that? Sure as shit better be. I think it's just undercoating grease because it's only on one side. And it was probably like this when we went and sprayed this. That would make sense to me. Anyway, yeah, I done tightened them too tight, so it's okay. That drum might not be okay, but I'll cross that road later. She definitely got a little warm. Alright, we got the axle out. Right there, you know, the 6 bolts, the axle nut, which came off and everything because we just had it out. A mystery bolt I found right here in the driveway, so I grabbed that so it didn't go through anything. Otherwise, ready to go and ready to get that bearing out. Yeah, listen to this bearing. Definitely makes a fun noise. I swear this is the one that was freaking loose when I was in here last time, but it's not loose right now. Probably because I snugged that axle nut up and it squeezed it back together. But it's getting out anyway. They're getting both replaced, so that one doesn't sound happy. Something's up with it, that's for sure. Hear it? Get in the right spot, it clunks. So anyway, that's coming out. Bearings out. Only one of the bolts fought me. What are the odds? Well, not the bearings out. The bolts are out. What are the odds that it will come out? Surprisingly good, I guess. It's about to come out. Nice. Next guy will thank you for that, by the way. It's not very much. Well, that side's all done. Arguably, the brake's too loose, but it'll self-adjust. It's tight enough. It works when you press the pedal. So, we're all right. All right, got the driver's side tore apart, got the axle out, ready to pull the bearing out. Hopefully it comes out just like the other one did. Well, considering that bearing basically fell out too, I think we're getting pretty lucky. So, ready to put the new bearing back in, tighten everything up, and we should be done. Sweet, it's actually going really well right now for once. Nice. Crank the radio back up. Second bearing's in, just the axle left, and we're good. All right, we're all done. I'm going to take it for a test drive. We'll see that noise and shake and bounce that I could feel went away, whatever it was. Yeah, that was it. There's still a little bit of a vibration, but I think it's that driveline vibration I feel, which you can feel at low RPM, like 1 to 2 you can feel it. But otherwise, going down the road, this feels pretty good. It definitely needs an alignment, and we definitely have no more noise in the back. That weird clicky bouncy noise or clicky like wobbly noise, that's gone. So one of those bearings was definitely bad. So brakes seem to work. Yeah, everything seems to work okay. Now it's just a matter of making sure the rear brakes don't get hot. All right, been driving it. I just stopped. I did some hard stops going forward and then a couple going backwards to adjust the rear brakes. Stops really good now. Rear brakes are not hot at all. We're looking really, really good. So I think we got all those kinks worked out. The shake is pretty minimal. There's a little bit in the wheel, but it needs an alignment. That might take the rest of that out. Otherwise, when you're accelerating, you can feel a little bit of a maybe just a hair of a driveline shake, and that's probably just the drive shaft or whatever. It's an all-wheel drive system shake, I think, but it's not bad. Getting those wheel bearings done, those were bad. Something was definitely way wrong there. It is quiet now, and it is good to go. So this thing is ready for the road now, besides that radiator leak I need to keep an eye on for now, and I'll get a radiator ordered up, but otherwise we're looking pretty good. How about that? Seems to drive freaking nice. I think we did a very good job getting this poor $500 1994 Chrysler Town Country back on the road after it sat for approximately a year. But boy, did it need some work. And obviously, I'm sure there's stuff that'll come up. We're not completely done with it. We definitely got a radiator that needs done, so. But in the meantime, this thing is looking good. It's a good runner. It's a good driver. So let's get out there and we're gonna drive it. Yeah, this thing drives pretty nice actually. Out on some gravel here. See if we can spin the back tires. I'll bring it to a stop here in some loose gravel. But you should see it this thing takes off pretty good. I've gotten it to kick all-wheel driving. So it'll kick the rear wheels in when it feels the front spin. So. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that thing pulls. Yeah, that's nice. You can feel it lock in and it goes. So that's real nice. The system seems to work just fine. So freaking sweet. I fixed the cassette player issue. Is just to have a cassette in it, by the way, and then that solves the whole problem of it trying to click and eject. I think, to be honest, because it was, when I first played that AC/DC cassette, it was pretty kind of muffled, but once it started playing it, it knocked off whatever dust was in the readers, and then it's playing pretty good. So I wonder just a couple uses will kind of clean it up and it'll be good to go. But that AC/DC tape plays pretty good. It's a good album too. So we're looking pretty good. This van is finally kind of ready to go. I just need to keep an eye on that radiator. We'll make sure it's not leaking anything. We'll make sure it's full. I'm gonna drive it to work tomorrow. So, and then I'm done for the week, which is nice. Right. Yeah, this thing pulls. I'm not flooring it right now, but it goes. Pulls a little bit left because it needs an alignment, but hey, if it passes the drive to work tomorrow, I'll get an alignment scheduled for it and we'll get it in proper and have it done right. I'm confident in it. I'm ready to go. So, should be all right. But this thing freaking moves. Nice. Yeah, there's no shake at 60. This is real nice. It's quiet. Oh, I can't believe how much quieter it is with these new rear wheel bearings. So they didn't feel that bad, but they were cooked. I'll tell you that much. They were freaking cooked. Bunch of old tractors over here. Bonus footage, we get a blinker out on the front right. So got to take the little star here, the bottom star in the grill, and then up here there's a star like stud right here. So these three right here. That should pop this guy out of the way. So now we got to get this bulb out of here. I don't know that we've ever been in here actually. So how old are the bulbs in here? Let's find out. Come on, out you go. They are very old Sylvanias. It's pretty. Hey, look, it works now. Crazy. So, was it the bulb? No, the bulb's fine. It's the socket. But those are very old Sylvanias. So, anyway, I'm going to clean this up, put it back in. I guess it works. Yeah, it's good to go, but while a guy's in here, he might as well replace this. I think I've got one on the shelf. I'll go see if I got one. So, we'll get that fixed too. There, you know that means I gotta go fix the other side now, huh? Yep, I guess we'll have to fix that one, and then we got all working lights. Look at me go. Running good. The coolant leak stopped, but I put an extra jug of coolant in the back just in case, but I don't know what happened there. It's fine. I'm going to ignore it. Well, we just got the alignment done on the 94 Town and Country. It seems all right. I want to get it up to like 75 and just see if there's any little shake left in it. Because sometimes an alignment will fix that very fine shake just because your wheels aren't fighting each other back and forth. So, but we're looking good at 63 here. It's running good. We're at 181, 291. Got a full tank of gas, good oil pressure. Temp looks good. Obviously, we got no heat in here. Well, not obviously, you don't know, but we got no heat in here. 23 degrees outside. I gotta figure out how to put a piece of cardboard in front of this radiator. So I don't know if something's internally wrong with the radiator and it's just like flowing too fast through it. I mean, I replaced the thermostat. I don't think it's stuck open, but you never know, I guess. But anyway, we're looking pretty good here. Got some new asphalt here. We can get it up to speed and really feel it. But everything seems all right. $70 feels all right. Maybe just a touch of a bounce, but not really. I can't feel anything in the wheel. How about that? I can feel just a little bit in the floor, I think, but just a hair. No, this is nice. Yeah, that's good. Cruising speed, we're doing okay. That's not bad at all. That's definitely, it's not perfect, but it's a old van with 290 miles. So 181,293 miles. It's 31 years old. We're looking pretty good. It cruises highway speed just fine. Well, I got the radiator blocked off on the Town and Country. I don't know if you can see that, but I got a piece of cardboard box. I just broke it up and I was able to fold it in half, slide it through. It fit perfectly, this box, and then once I got the half through, I was able to unfold it. And it's literally holding in here perfect. And I got it in front of the AC condenser instead of in between where the radiator is. Honestly, that's probably better. It'll let some flow through from the bottom. It's just still cool. We'll see. I'm gonna leave the grill off. We're gonna take it for a ride, and we'll see how that does. Obviously, careful when you're taking your grill screws out, or otherwise you'll drop them down there into an abyss where you'll never find them, even with a magnet. So I gotta acquire some more grill screws naturally, but we'll give this a shot real quick. In unrelated news, that alternator's starting to make a really funny noise. Great. Well, that's the last idea I got, is flipping those around. And that's what I did. So I'll see if that makes a difference. I'll let you know. Hey, guess who's got heat now? Me. It's not hot, 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 but it's like hot, especially when I give it gas. It's actually responsive now. Maybe it is directional. I mean, in theory, it should be directional, but yeah, the return hose is hot now. Yeah, return hose is hot. That's funny. So the overwhelming, so I was looking online at various pictures. It seemed more of them were oriented like this than the other way around, but all of mine were the other way. All of mine have been the other way. I'll have to look back at footage when we first picked it up. Maybe I flipped it at some point, but I'm pretty sure it was like that. So maybe they flipped it when they did the motor. Just like maybe mine got flipped in Gray Van at some point. I think mine is the other way in Gray Van. I gotta look at the White Voyager and see how that is, because the White Voyager doesn't really have good heat either, and if it's not good, I'm gonna flip it too. Maybe that's what it is. So, yeah, this heat's a lot better. That's a lot better. So I'm gonna take it for a drive, and this isn't definitive yet, because I wanna take it for a drive and make sure it stays warm when we get up to, you know, the speed and we're moving air through the radiator more, but that might be it right there, is it's backwards. That, or it unclogged it, like I said, just flowing it the other way. Yeah, this is warmer than it ever has been, the return. Here's the other thing I want to try. I'm going to take it for a trip, and then when we get it back, I'm going to unplug the two lines to the rear heater core and see if it makes a difference, because if it doesn't, I'd rather keep that loop open so I can run both heater cores. But that's the best it's been so far sitting here, so you know, it made the most difference immediately. Alright, we got heat out of both the front and the rear heater cores at speed, so that was, I guess that was it. they got to be flipped, so if you see which way I had them there at the end with the heater valve, the inlet valve towards the driver's side, inlet towards the driver's side, I guess. And so that means I gotta go make sure that all my other vans are like that too, which I'm pretty sure they're not. So what I wonder is if I messed up because I was thinking about Gray Van. I did the heater core because I had the dash out of that van when I originally bought it back in 2020 or 21 or whatever it was. And I wonder if it was either flipped before I got to it or I flipped it. And since then, it never really had heat either, to be fair. And I wonder if I didn't do that, and then I used that one as my template for them all, and then I messed them all up. That wouldn't be surprising. So, you know, that's how that goes, I guess, right? All right, so fun time here. Yesterday, I was trying to leave work, and, well, the alternator decided that it was done. That's as far as it'll kind of, not really rotate, it's kind of seized. Yeah, the alternator seized up, so I ended up getting a ride home, but I just working on lunch break here. I'm finding it easier to not try to stuff it down the bottom, to kind of take that bracket out of there and let the alternator come up this way. Anyway, it's out. This thing is a reman. We knew that. We just had it out too, which is funny. So anyway, that's junk. I got a new one that should be delivered to the house today, so I'll put it in on Monday at work here on lunch break, and that'll be that. But dang it. Figure I'd bring you in here real quick, just so you guys are aware. I've got a shake in the front right, so what I'm doing is I'm swapping the front right and the rear right, so we're putting the shaky tire in the right rear. I had tires in the air, I shook, I couldn't feel any looseness, any play anywhere. It's gotta be the rim or something. I mean, it has to be. It doesn't change when I, accelerate or decelerate, so it's a rotational bounce, so it's gotta be that. So that's what we're gonna do. This is the rear tire, I put it up front, and I figure if this fixes it, I'm just gonna leave them what they are. We won't rotate them, we'll keep that one in the right rear, and we'll just wear them down, and then change the fronts as needed, and then change the rears. And that'll be that. So, I figured I'd bring it in real quick. Yeah, I think old Beetroot here is about to become a front-wheel drive van for the time being. I'm gonna disconnect the drive shaft, and we're gonna pull that out of the way, and we will see what happens. However, the undercoating is looking really good under here. All of the dirt sticking to it and everything, I guess. So, that looks good, I suppose. Okay, the drive shaft has been removed, as you can see. And to prevent rusting, I have liberally applied fluid film black to both the, what is that, you call that, the prop shaft on the, the prop shaft is the drive shaft, whatever you want to call this coupler yoke thing on the PTU, as well as the front of the viscous coupler. So those shouldn't rust, in theory, in the event that we want to put a drive shaft back in it when we can. So let's go take it for a test drive. I'm going to take it for a test drive, and I will let you know if the violent shake goes away, which I bet it will. So I took it for a test drive, and the shake didn't really go away, but I forgot a very crucial piece here. The rear axles are still hooked up, or were, and that would cause the whole all-wheel drive system to spin anyway. So, to complete the removal of the all-wheel drive system and converting my van to front-wheel drive, as you can see, we have the drive shaft off. And if you remember, I put that oil on there and I wasn't thinking, yeah, it flung it all off, so that's okay. It did the same on the viscous coupler, but I just applied some new stuff to it. And then I've got the axles out, as you can see. And then I applied some fluid film to that as well. But you can't just take those axles out, because these are bearings that require the axle nut. So remember the old axles, which I happen to keep. Good on me. So what I did is I cut the boots out, pulled the joints out, and I bolted in the outer CVs, or the outer ends of the old CV axles for the rear, torqued them to 180 foot-pounds, and we should be good to go. The all-wheel drive system should not spin, and in theory, if that is our problem in our shake, it should go away. If it doesn't, I'm going to be sad. But this didn't take all that much work. Good diagnosis anyway to eliminate that from play. So, and I was able to do it without taking the wheels off. You just pop these covers off, you get your, your socket in there, and you can take the axle nuts off. The only thing is if you got the castle nuts where you have the cotter keys, you have to take the wheels off to get the cotter key out. So, just so you know. Cold and windy today. We got the 94 Town Country up on the ramps and working on an exhaust leak here. And after fighting that for way too long, there's the exhaust leak. That old donut gasket. Here's a new one right here. That was a pain in the butt to get out, mostly because it was like, nah, there's no way those exhaust bolts will come out. I hit them with the impact. I got them to, well, the nuts would spin, and then I rounded off the one because that's how that goes. And so I tried to take a Sawzall to the passenger side one. I could barely get a 1-foot blade in there, and I got about halfway through it before I dulled the end of the blade off and whatever. And I was like, I'm out of options here. I'd have to go get blades. Let's just put a wrench on that nut, and the nut spun off by hand. So that's cool. I wasted a lot of time trying to cut that bolt off. I've never had a rusty old one come out like that. So they both came out, by hand. So, okay, cool, whatever. Anyway, I had to undo the middle bracket there, the bolts of that, to slide the exhaust out of the way to get this old thing out of here. But it's out. Here's the new one. I'm gonna warm up. It's cold, it's windy, it's, the usual, I guess, right? So, I'll put this back in, bolt that back up with our new hardware, and then hopefully should be a little more quiet. Alright, new exhaust donut is in. Problem I did find though with it, both the hardware, all the hardware came out of it on the old ones. The comes with the exhaust bolts with the springs. The left one pointed towards the driver's side, and you'll know if you've been in here before. The manifold on the rear has the EGR tube coming off it. Those O'Reilly kits or whatever, dormant kit, whatever it is, they make the bolts too long, and it actually runs into the EGR tube on models with EGR. So that was a problem with the old bolts that came out. I ended up having to cut the new one so it was shorter, and that seemed to have cured the leak, I think. I think that was the problem. You don't hear that pop, 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 pop anymore, like a manifold leak or whatever. It sounds good. That was it. So that was a problem when the last guys put this motor in it. They probably used the same kit as me. Okay, next thing on the list for the 94 Town & Country, kind of trying to tidy up some of these smaller things on the van, is the brake booster, which has had a leak, a vacuum leak that has been progressively getting worse. I pulled a brake booster for it. I have one for it. Should work. Now we just got to get it out of here. I was able to sneak one out of here on the 93 Plymouth Grand Voyager. Turnip sitting over there. We did that one as well, but this one is bad, and lucky for us, this doesn't have the old Bendix 10 ABS, which would have made it impossible to do, but instead we got the new Bendix, or whatever this ABS guy is here, that is not much nicer and out of the way. So all we got to do, I got most of the stuff out of the way. I think I'm going to get the washer pump up out of the way. That'll give me a little bit more room. Otherwise, I pulled the EGR kind of vacuum switch. I got the air box out of here. Disconnected some vacuum lines, including the all-wheel drive vacuum hose here. I got him out of the way. Because what we're going to do is we're going to pull the master cylinder off and kind of flex it out of the way. And then once we unbolt it from the inside, which is 4 13 mil nuts, we'll be able to pull it out, and then it's going to go up and pivot out. That is the plan right now, and I should be able to clear this. If I recall, I was able to clear it before. So, but that's my plan. I'm gonna get that old guy out of here, and hopefully the one I got doesn't leak. It didn't appear when I kind of just tested it with my hands, and when I pressed the pedal, it seemed okay. When it was on the vehicle in the yard, it seemed fine, but we'll see how it actually goes. Gee, I wonder why it leaks. Why is that so rusty? It's surely not leaking brake fluid. No. Couldn't possibly. It's out. Not too bad. So there's this brake line right here. So you got to the way you got to do it is when you take this out, pivot like this. Bottom screws out first to get over top of that, and then it'll go like this, pry out, and it'll kind of pry up, and then it comes out and twists like this and comes out just like that. Here's the booster, and here's where it's leaking. So when I press in on this, if I took this grommet out of here, I was trying to look at it for sizing, because it's really, really close to the wiper grommet, believe it or not. It's not quite right, but I was looking at it. So when I plugged this up and I pushed on it from in here, you could hear the air pissing out around here. So that O-ring is blown. And I do believe it did not do that on the one that I pulled from the yard, so that'll go in. I'll get this in real quick. I see that screw I dropped for the washer reservoir. I better grab that first before it falls into that frame rail. Good time to spray down there too, by the way, with fluid film, if a guy was so inclined. But there, it's out. That's half the battle. A little bit of persuasion, it's in there. Fortunately, this one's got axle grease all over it from the donor van at the yard. Had a bad axle boot and just was flinging grease all over it. But there, we got the new one kind of persuade in there. The nuts on this one are in a lot better shape. We'll reuse those. As you can see, it's not all rusty like the other one, so we should be in a lot better shape. And just so I didn't leave you hanging, I did get the new booster installed and tested. No more vacuum leaks when you hit the brakes. You know, having a working booster really, really helps your braking power. In case you didn't know. Now, I gotta shake down this front end because it's got a nasty shake in it. All right. All-wheel drive system's all back and installed, since we know that the issue is not that, and that the shake did not go away when we pulled it. I kind of thought it did when I first pulled it, but no, as soon as I actually drove it out on the highway, no, the shake was still there. So we know that that wasn't the issue. The all-wheel drive system's all good to go. Got the 2 axles bolted back up and the drive shaft. So, I guess something worth noting is if you have one of these vans and you have an all-wheel drive system, it would not be a bad idea when you're out road tripping to make sure you should have a set of tools anyway. But make sure you got a 10 mil and a 13 mil in case something happens to the all-wheel drive system. You don't have to get it towed. You could just disassemble, pull the drive shaft, and pull the CVs. You don't even need the axle nut here. Because if you're on the side of the road, I'll tell you right now, either sacrifice the axles you have in it or have a big wrench and a 32 mil socket. But otherwise, you just unbolt them from the rear drive, and then you cut the boots and pull the CVs out, because you need the knuckle here, or the end of the knuckle. You need whatever you would call the end of the CV. You need it to hold the wheel bearings together. So either you have the sacrificial pair like I do from the old drive shafts, or you just rip apart the ones that you got on it, and then you pull the drive shaft out, and then she's front wheel drive, good to go. I don't know, it took me like 40 minutes. The only thing is I used were a big ratchet there, a 32 mil socket, a torque wrench, which those are technically not necessary, and then a 13 mil, and then a 10 mil. 10 mil to pull the drive shaft, 13 mil to pull the CVs. So, she's all good to go anyway. I'll take it for a test drive here. Just make sure nothing has gone worse and that it all still functions, and we're good to go. Hey everybody. So, we're here looking at old Beetroot, the 94 Chrysler Town Country. And this might be the final walk around on the poor girl. I got somebody come to look at it today, and they seem very, very interested in it. So, I gotta let one go, right? We got enough projects, enough projects around here. And this one's in pretty good shape. I've been driving it. I drove it all 5 days last week, so that says something. We did a lot of work. It needed a lot of TLC, and we gave it to her. But she needs a little bit. It's like 95% of the way there. Unfortunately, I think I got hosed on those tires. They're all out of round. I think that's what it is. I don't think the rims are all bent. That would be insane. Not all four, no. I think I got hosed on these tires. If I remember right, I ordered them online, and then I had discount mount them. If I remember correctly, I gotta go look. It's been a couple, like 4 or 5 months at this point. 6, actually, I think. But they're all out of round, so I wonder if I got crappy stock. You know what I mean? And so we'll sell them on Amazon. So that might be what happened. It's upside down. There we go. But otherwise, it does run and drive great. It has a shake at 70, but I was still doing 70 on the interstate. It's all right. Got 182,521, which, I guess we gotta put the key on here. How many miles do we actually do? We did 2,052 miles since I bought it. And I'm gonna run it for a second here. I don't want to warm it up because I want the guy to come look at it. They like it when you start them cold, which is fair. That exposes all the little issues, but the hatch is still open. Better fix that. There. But it does run, it does drive. It's got a little bit of an exhaust leak. Remember, I gotta go get the cassette. I gotta get a donor cassette for this, because the player, if you remember, the radio's a bit finicky. If you don't have one kind of wedged in it, it likes to just jam in cassette. But here's a quick look around of it. It's pretty decent. It's not perfect, but it's pretty decent. For 182,000, she's pretty nice. I did vacuum it this morning, Yeah, that's one thing you guys got to do when you go to sell a vehicle. Vacuum it. You know how much nicer it makes it look just having it vacuumed? It's a really big selling point. We got our nice intake here. Obviously, we repaired the fuel rail. We had the whole timing cover off, did all that. New alternator. Brand new battery. I did tighten the clamps down. Everything's good to go there. She's in there. That could maybe use tightened, but it's okay. But she's there. She all works. Nice new grill in it. Fog lights that work. She's nice. Oh yeah, and the mirrors. We swapped the mirrors out because the one was busted up. And that sweet, sweet all-wheel drive system, which is back in it, by the way. She's there. Behind that crappy muffler. Yeah, that's mint. But I do like the van. I'm not happy I have to sell it, but well, look who's still here. And look what she just got. So I would have had it sold yesterday. He was sold, except he was literally too tall to sit in the thing. So we still have it. And as luck would have it, I had to go to U-Pull yesterday. And a 2000 Chrysler Town Country, or 98 Chrysler Town Country LXI had just came into the lot. And look what was on it. A pair of 16-inch snowflakes. And the tires on them, literally brand new. And I mean literally. What are we at here? Oh, these are the rears. So the rears are 29th week of 2023. So a year old in quotes. But who knows when they were actually mounted. But look at them. They're literally brand new. Like, it's still got all the little rubber pieces on here and everything. They're literally brand new. And they are Eco-Dynamic Winterfalls. Or Winterfall Eco-Dynamic, whatever. It doesn't matter. So that's this one and that one. And then you come over here and look at the front wheels. And they're a little beat up. They use some cheap brakes and obviously corrosion and stuff. But these ones were manufactured in the 38th week of 2024. And then they had to have been sold and mounted. And it's only, end of March. These have only been on there like 2 months. And they've got fresh wheel weights on them. They're all good to go. I cleaned up the front tires or wheels, and I got all the brake dust out of the gold best I could. Makes them look a lot better. But they are 215/65 R16s, which is an upgrade from these should be 205/70/15s, but I've got, what do I got on here? 215-somethings. I've got bigger tires on here, 215/70/15s, because that's what I could find quickly. So actually, I think my Speedo will be more accurate with these than it is with those. I think these are taller than these overall. So I think it'll look really good with those. It should fill in pretty. What we're going for is hopefully to eliminate that shake. I got had on those tires. I was hosed. I think there's no way it's the rims. There's no way it's the wheels. I think I got had on these tires. But I'll take them all off and I'll look. I don't know if one of the belts is tore on them. Who knows? Maybe they mounted them without lube at discount or something. I have no idea. I don't know. I think I got. That or, because I didn't buy the tires at discount. I think I bought them on like Walmart or Amazon, which is a terrible idea. It's a good way to get cheap tires, but it's also a good way to get screwed, I think. I don't know. I've been had more than once by that. Anyway, so I probably have better luck with I always have better luck with the junkyard wheels. So all said and done, I think it was $120, tires, rims, mounted and balanced with air in them, pre-filled. But I've got $80 in cores, so $20 cores. But I've got 4 aluminum wheels I can bring back and get my core money back. And get rid of 4 junk wheels I got laying around, which is nice. Anyway, we're going to put these on there, and the shake goes away, like I think it will. So, as long as these tires and wheels are good, but I'm pretty sure they are. They look good. I think I like these better anyway. These are, what, 3rd gen snowflakes, and these are, I don't know, what do you call these technically? Because they're not, do they call these snowflakes too? I know those are snowflakes. I don't know, do you call those, they're the same, but they're different. So, I'm going to stop talking, I'm going to get to it. Let's see how she looks with those on there. There, how about that? Well, I'd say those look pretty good. It's definitely a different look, that's for sure. I'm not a big tire guy, like large tires. I prefer like 14s and 15s, to be honest with you, on my vans. But I think Beetroot here, the all-wheel drive, makes 16s look pretty good. Yeah, I don't think those are bad at all. They're big for my taste for sure, but I think they'll be all right. 17s would be pushing it. 16s, no, I'll let her slide. All right. Well, I'm going to go wash my hands quick, and then I'm going to cross my fingers that the shake is gone, because if it isn't, I give up. And then I won't care, and I will continue to drive it as is. So, like I have been. I've got 2,000-something miles on these now, so. All right. I'll be right back. Well, moment of truth here. Here we go. I'll have to get the speedometer out on my phone here after this and just see how far off it is. Bit of a shake coming in at about right there, but it ain't nothing like it was. I don't know, I'm gonna drive it for a bit. There's definitely something still there, but it's definitely a million times better, that's for sure. Alright, I can work with that. So what I can say is I've got a shake in the steering wheel still, but there's no shake in the floor, no shake from behind me. And a little bit of a rumble out of the brake pedal, but like not bad. It's better, but it's like not gone, which is annoying. But what I might try to do is I've got the brand new ones up front. I might rotate and flip the pairs and see if the shake moves around, you know. Who's to say the junkyard wheels are perfect, you know, but I'm gonna go put some gas in it because it's at 1/8 of a tank. So, anyway. Better, I would say. Well, I might have come to a revelation on the shake in this van. Those are the new drums for the rear. I swapped over the right side rear. Didn't seem to make a difference, but I swapped over the left rear, and that seems to have taken away the shake in the floor and kind of like the rear as far as I can tell. But as soon as we did that, we acquired a severe wheel shake when I hit the brakes. Wheel shake and pedal shake when you hit the brakes is indicative of front. I think wheel shake or pedal shake only is indicative of rear, but I could feel a pulse and a shake in the wheel now, and both fronts are hot all of a sudden. And this was after I was testing the brakes, after I swapped the old drums back on, just to make sure they kind of set in place, you know, and they were engaging, which they seem to be. Actually, they seem to work pretty well. This caliper right here, specifically front left, is barely sticking. It's sticking, like half sticking. It's like not stuck, but it's dragging. And intermittently, I could kind of feel it pull weird. Like, if I remember right, like it would intermittently pull weird. And I think this rotor warped. And the brake is hanging. So, I need to take this wheel off, kind of investigate here, see if we can figure out if it's the hose or the caliper. But what I think I want to do is new pads, new rotors, maybe new hoses on both sides just to be done with it. And we'll look at the calipers, at least grease them up, but this might be a sticking caliper here, because a hose wouldn't stick partially like this. If the hose is going to free up, it'll free up. This seems like a stuck caliper. So we might have just been having, because here's the thing, it shook, and then it shook while braking and shake. So, and while driving. And I think the driving is kind of, might have been those. See, I hate this. I hate this so much because it's always more than one issue at the same exact time, and it makes it so freaking hard to nail it down. And I'm not the greatest at diagnosis. I'd say I'm pretty good at troubleshooting. But when it comes to multi-threaded issues, it just gets so annoying sometimes, which I think is what's happening. Once again, sorry, I kind of got all 3 second gens here in the shot. But I think we've got or had rear drums that were warped, probably because I adjusted it wrong, especially the left rear, which you can kind of see a kind of purpley hue to it. I think I might have warped it. It's definitely had heat in it. That might have been my fault. And that's what caused that shake. And then, or they were also out of round to begin with. You never know. Unless you got a brake lathe and you can actually see it, or a balancer and you can see it, you're only guessing, and I'm guessing. But I think I fixed some of it with that. And then I think we've also got locked up fronts. So I'm going to look at some parts, see if I can get some on hand today that aren't an arm and a leg. Maybe just an arm as far as cost goes. Or if we have to order in from Rock Auto. If I order in from Rock Auto, new calipers, new hoses, everything, I'd just be done. So, because I think, well, hello and goodbye. Okay, I fired the parts cannon, got new rotors, pads, calipers, and hoses on order on Rock Auto. $155 delivered. I think we were at a $150 just for rotors at AutoZone and O'Reilly, and I couldn't get them till next Monday. I'll have this stuff here by Friday at my door, so I might spend some time maybe and diagnose this. It's freed up since it sat here. No, it's still kind of, it's actually hanging, so it could be the hose. I might crack the bleeder here and just see, but I'm gonna put new parts in it, call it good. I'll look at the parts I take off, and if they're good, I'll keep them. But I'm gonna put all new stuff on here for that price. I'm just gonna be done with it, with the amount of trouble I've had dealing with it. And then once we figure that out, I'll test and fit these. I'll mark these left and right, and I'll see if either of those are any good, and we'll just put them back on and call it a day. If not, I'll run the old rotors. Or old drums. I'm not even mad. I'll see you guys at the end of this week. Just to confirm, it is in fact the caliper that's sticking. I cracked the bleeder after locking it up here, and fluid comes out free and it does not release. So that caliper is definitely junk. I'm gonna go check the other side just for the heck of it. Are the slide pins sticking, or how are the slide pins? I can't. Bottom one is definitely okay. Top slide pin might be sticking. Hard to tell because it's locked on, and I can't. No, it's moving. The pins are good. I can see the pins moving. So this caliper is seized, or seizing intermittently. It's like not stuck because I can kind of move it, but it's like not. It's holding is what it's doing. It's holding up. So that is definitely our problem right there. I'll go check the other side for the heck of it, but otherwise, I think we got her whooped. So I'm gonna put new pads, new rotors, everything. We're gonna call this stuff scrap it. Burned up the, you know, what am I saying? This. So that's it. Front right seems okay. It seems to be releasing and everything. So that side's fine. It's definitely front left that's stuck. But we're gonna go ahead and do everything. I don't know if I mentioned this or not already, but see those right there? Those are the front brakes off of the wood grain 94 Town and Country from Illinois back in 2023. I forgot I saved them. They're pretty well brand new. I mean, they look a little rusty because they've been sitting in a junkyard, but the pads are like brand new. The rotors are nice and smooth, and the calipers were good. I remember them working. I did cut the hoses because I was being quick and lazy, but our hoses are good. So I did order the brake parts already, and I'm not going to return them, but if I can get away with using these instead, I'll save those other parts for a rainy day. Because I think these are the same as those, unless the all-wheel drive front brakes are bigger, which they might be. There's two different size front rotors. I think it's 60 and 82 millimeter, or 260 and 282. It's something like that. I think it's 260 and 282 millimeter rotors. I think that's it, but I got a feeling that those are the same as these and that they'll work, but we'll see. Otherwise, I also got this. That is the radiator off of that 94 wood grain Town and Country. Because ours has a very small pinhole leak over here on the driver's side somewhere that I haven't been quite able to pinpoint, but I can see it leaking because I can see it dripping. It's somewhere under the fan shroud here, but at the same time, it leaks so little that this is still full. I think it's sucking out of the overflow tank slowly, but it's like just misting. Anyway, I'm going to deal with it, and we're going to fix it. So I think to do this without pulling everything apart, and we got to save the AC. I don't want to touch the AC because right now it is sealed. It was sealed when I bought it. It still works. I don't want to open it up and put O-rings in and then open that can of worms. So I think what we got to do, obviously disconnect the coolant hoses, drain the coolant out of it. So another coolant flush this thing gets. Congratulations. Actually, we'll try to save this coolant because it's all fresh. So I'll actually clean up the pan and try to save it. Get the rad hoses off. Get this guy out of here. We should be able to unbolt the fan shroud, and we should be able to squeak it out of there. I don't think we'll have any issues. Not really. I think we'll be able to squeak this out of here, and then we should be able to unbolt the front grille, take the 2 bolts off for the AC rad condenser, I think. Whatever, yeah. The AC rad is what we're going to call it. And then the radiator should flop free and pull up. We also have to remember we have the transmission lines over there, so we got to vice grip those off, undo those, get them out of the way, and we should be able to pull that radiator out and swap that one in. We'll see which hoses are nicer. I think they're both OEM hoses. Those have 200 and something thousand miles on, 254 I think, and these have 183, give or take, depending on what they did with the motor. I'm sure they just reused them, but they're all OEM hoses, I think, so we'll see which is nicer. Probably these, to be honest. But I'll take these off and I'll save them. This one's kind of hard, but this one's soft. So I'll save those. Anyway, I'm just going to put you on the tripod. I figure it's a good time for a time lapse, and you'll just time lapse watch me pull this apart as we avoid this storm. If it starts raining, I'm not doing it now, but I'm going to try start. This looks like it wants to rain, but I don't know if it will. I don't know. It's really nice out, so let's get this done. Well, it was definitely the way of not ripping everything apart. Certainly did not come out very easily. Fought me quite a bit, actually. And then I got coolant all over my left arm, so you know. I did save a full one and then that much more, so we got most of it. There's the old rad right here. You can see, actually, this is the side that was leaking. When it would get warm, you can see it. Look at that. So I don't know if it's just, it looks like it just must be seeping around one of the tubes. Yeah, they all look to kind of just be, this one's really, right, this is probably the one right there. The bottom there, that's the wet, dampest looking one. But they all look like they're not in very good shape. This side looks better till you get to the bottom, but this side didn't seem to be leaking. Mopar tag on it. So, there she is. Definitely quite a bit of dust and dirt there. You should always save those clips. Those always come in handy everywhere, so we'll be pulling those off of this. All the hardware and stuff too. Looks like we'll need this hose because this one doesn't have it on it. This should be a Mopar rad as well. Yep. Actually, it doesn't say Mopar. It says made in the USA. This one might be a reman. Or not a reman, but a non-OEM. Might be. Yeah. Hard to say. But it's in decent shape. These look a lot better. As you can see, it didn't seem to be leaking. I didn't drive that other van very far, or very much, to be honest with you. But, yeah, I think it had coolant in it. So, definitely the better of the two options. It's got a couple dings and stuff in it, but nothing that on the tubes or anything that would hurt it. It appears anyway. So, I also found this between the radiator and the AC condenser buried in here. I'm assuming that's left over from when they swapped the motor, would be my guess. Also, I just noticed somebody's scuffed into the head there some initials. Isn't that interesting? Part of that whole reman process, I'm sure. But here we are. There's our room. The worst part is, there's a pin at the bottom of the condenser right here that slots in right there and right there. And that makes it very, very difficult because you got to almost get the radiator to go down and then the condenser to come up while it's still all hooked up. It's kind of a pain in the ass, I'm not going to lie to you. and then do your lower rad hose. Get it off of there before you make the radiator loose, because otherwise you got to fight the radiator moves instead of allows you to pull the hose off. And it was a pain in the butt. The other thing that I got to do while I'm in here is I got to look at this cruise. I've got a code at 4243 for the cruise servo. Cruise does not work. I can hear this little guy clicking, but it does not work. So I've got the whole other cruise box and everything off of the other 94. I think it's in the back here, actually. And it might just be better to just swap it on. That'd be my thought. And right now I got all the space in the world to do it. I think it's in here. Yeah, it is. Look at that. Yep. I think we might just swap that real quick while we're in there. Because then maybe, just maybe, we'll have cruise. That would be nice. Tell you, that other 94 is coming in handy as a parts rig for this. That's new. Interesting. There's a few dings on there I don't recognize. Whatever. I knew that was open. So, I think I'll swap this cruise servo quick. Well, I'll get in there and I'll look at this one, make sure there isn't just a vacuum line broke or something stupid. I don't think there would be, or we'd have a giant vacuum leak, but you never know, right? And then I'll get this rad back in there, and then we'll be done. And at least that'll maybe not leak. You know, that'd be cool. All right, cruise is replaced. That didn't take me very long. It's just the one bolt. And I left the original vacuum box because when I popped the lines off it, it had pressure in it. It like let pressure out. So that's cool. This is plugged in. The little clip's a pain in the butt. I'd use a screwdriver to pop it on the old one. Here's the old one. I don't know if it's bad or not yet, so we'll leave it there. Let's turn the key on. And if we turn that off, whoops, off like that, we should hear it. Does work, so that's good. So maybe it works. I don't know yet. We'll see. All right, let's get that rad in. Okay, well, I got the new radiator. I got all the accessories and hoses off it, and then I just took it and flushed it with a garden hose. Came out a little brown at first there, but we got it cleared out. So started from there, you know, let it flow clear out of both. Then I moved it to one, let it flow out of both, and then, you know, I go in and I just stop one of them and then let it flow out the other. Flow it all directions until it flows clear every way you do it. And that should be good. And I didn't see any major leaks. I didn't notice anything, so I think we're good. So let's go slam this one in there quick. Actually, I'm going to put that hose on it first, and then we'll do that. Not that I use the drain valve anyway, but, you know, it's there. Well, she's all done. She's all in there. I got it running, actually. I rinsed the coolant through this funnel with a filter on it there, so that way we didn't get any contaminants in it. I did notice at first this radiator didn't want to take all the fluid, and it might have been because I had some water from when I flushed it still in it, and it had more fluid than I thought. Big air bubble somewhere. I don't know. Or this radiator's got a flow issue, and that's why the other van died, because it could have overheated and then dropped valve seats. You never know. I guess we'll find out. I have to keep an eye on it for sure, but it wants more coolant. But it seemed to flow fine with the hose, so I don't know. They probably just had a giant air bubble in it. But anyway, I'm going to fill it up here. I got the heater blowing in there. We're going to wait for heat to come on there, wait for the heater cord or the thermostat to open up, get up to operating temp, and then I'm going to go take it for a test drive, and we'll make sure it doesn't leak. We'll make sure everything works, and we'll go from there. But I think we're looking good. It's all back in there, and hopefully the cruise works maybe. We'll test that too. Well, this thing's been out here running for probably half an hour. It's sitting holding operating temp. The fan has cycled on and off a few times. The heat is blowing pretty nice, so we're looking decent there. Let's go take it for a ride. 183, 185 on the clock. New to it radiator, so looking good. I will get you out on the tarmac here, and we'll test out this cruise control too. That'd be nice if that worked. Knew I was forgetting something. I went to hit the gas pedal and it doesn't do anything. I saw that earlier and I forgot. I have to shut it off, and I gotta hook the gas pedal back up. Yeah, see, I forgot to do this because I took it off for the cruise, so I'll hook that back up and we'll try that again. Well, cruise does not work. Does not do anything. So that other servo is probably good. Unless that little air box down there is doing something funny and it's not working, I could try swap that little box quick. But currently it's not working, unfortunately. So that was not the issue. However, we're staying nice and cool. The heat is hot. Like, I'm cooking in here. It's 55 degrees out. This heat is coming out, 90, 100, I'm sure. But we're looking good otherwise. I'm going to say that's mission success for the radiator replacement. I'll take a look when I get home and make sure we're not leaking anywhere. But I think we're all right. All right, doesn't look like there's any leaks. Looking down all the channels and everything, down the sides of the rad, looks dry. And looks dry. Transmission might need a little bit of a top up. I didn't check it. I should check that. But no leaks, nothing. Just a little bit. You can see where the old fluid that we spilled in water, it's all drying up here. Looks good, seems good. Everything is good to go here. I think this is good to go as far as that goes. I think the heat actually works better now than it did. Like, it works really good, but it's also warmer. But I think that radiator is good, and that was free. That was a free radiator. That was out of the wood grain 94, and I'd made my money back on that van and then some, so that was free of charge. Nice. Just a little bit of labor. Okay, so a couple of updates and things. I got the new brakes on. I was bleeding them, and then I did the thing you don't do, and I ran the master dry, and now I've got a problem. So I got to try to get that master bled and all of the brakes now, probably. But I was going to see, I don't remember if I have to hook up here or in the car, but I was going to see if I could get the ABS pump to trigger and try to bleed the ABS, because this has got ABS, so I kind of really screwed myself here. But yeah, don't do what I did. However, got a few things going on down here with the brakes. So I cleaned up the rotor, knocked the rust off of it, cleaned it all out, all the vents and stuff. I knocked all the loose rust out of that. Calipers on. I took the old grease slide pins out of this donor caliper. I knocked all the rust out of the centers there, put the slide pins from the old caliper in. They both seemed like they were okay. The one was a little sticky on the new caliper, but these are all in. They're all greased, good to go. And then, most importantly, this is the original hose to the van. I took it off and it kind of dripped, but I was like suspect of it. And so what I think has happened here, because the other caliper did move for me, but remember, it was intermittently sticky. So what I think is that the little bracket here, if you look right there, this was rust jacked and it was constricting this brake line. So I freed it up from it, and right now I got it so I can slide it back in, but it's loose, and I'll just put like a zip tie on it to hold it. But I think that was constricting the brake, because as soon as I did that, this thing was flowing real good. So the reason I did that is because this is never coming off, and I'm going to break that, and I'm not going to play the spin game if I can manage it. So if the line's good, or the hose is good, I'm going to leave it. So yeah, that's what I did. I think we're good. I had it bled mostly. I think I had one air bubble, and then I went to, it's like, oh, I might as well do it again. So I got the cup emptied and then brought it back out, and I did it, and I forgot to fill up the master, and now we're screwed. Well, a little bit of coercing on the brake system, and I did get them to bleed. I bled all four again. I started with right rear, right front, left front, and then I bled the ABS using the DRB2. I don't know what that actually did, but it says it did something. So, and I got a pedal, and I'm full of fluid, and I think we're okay. Let's make sure we got brakes first. Oh yeah, arguably maybe better brakes. Let's go see. Now the big thing is, oh yeah, oh geez, something fell forward back there. Let me go check. I think that's some of the brake stuff. But I think our brakes work. Let's just hope that the shake goes away. Now, what just happened? Ah! This was sitting here, and clearly that has fallen forward and knocked rust everywhere. Good. Just what I wanted. Okay, cool. So, we'll swap that later. Yeah, let's go see if the shake is gone. I'll bring you back when we get up to the tar, and cross our fingers, hopefully. Because I only did the left front for now, because the pads are like brand new. The brakes were done. I'm starting to, oh, this is still open, great. Okay. Oh, this is going well. This is going really well. But I hope the shake is gone. That's what we're going for here. So I'll let you know. All right, here we go. Please no shakes. Low fuel, whatever. That doesn't bother me. There's a shake there, but it's definitely not front left anymore. I feel it in the wheel, and it's not front left. I think that's the front right. So I think we're going to do the same thing. And because I think, so there's no shake in the rear, no shake front left. I think it's front right now. And I still feel it when I brake in the steering. So we're gonna go with front right, and we're gonna try that. So I'm thinking it's the same thing. The hose is constricted. Unfortunately, well, hopefully I shouldn't have to bleed the others, because I shouldn't run the master dead. But we'll do the same thing front right, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, we're not there yet. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about here with this hose. I'm about halfway through here, just about ready to pop the old caliper off, but I was repairing the hose before, and this brake was hot, by the way. It's warm. So I popped this off here, got it so I had room here, and I was able to get and pry this off with both a vice grip and a screwdriver. But if you look right here, see all that? Look how squeezed that was. That's from the rust jacking in here, kind of compressing the hose. So hopefully that kind of unrestricts it there, and maybe that'll kind of work. We'll see. I'll pop this off, and we'll just see how well it drips. And then we'll get this caliper off, swap with that one. We'll re-bleed the brakes, hopefully not drain the master. That would be smart. And then we'll go test this again. You can see the coloring in this rotor. It's been warm, so I think we're onto it here. Let's try again. New right brake, new to it. Pedal shake's a lot better. It's like, it's not completely gone, but it's way better, I think. I don't know what that means exactly. Does the used rotors I had slightly warped too? I don't know. Does it just have to set in? Yeah, hang on a minute now. Might have got it. Yeah, that's a hell of a lot better. I'll do some more testing. I'll let you know. Well, that made a difference. It's definitely better, but it's not cured. Who's to say those brakes weren't bad? I didn't really test them on the other van. I didn't have the opportunity. I drove it once. I think we just put the new stuff on. These are also getting warm. I think we put the new lines, or the new hoses, the new calipers, new pads, rotors. I think we just put it on there and be done with it. I already ordered. I have the parts, so I might as well do it. So the problem is I'm going to break those lines, so I guess we'll find out. Let's try this again with the parts I bought. So, here we go again. Calipers look good, so we should be okay. Working on the driver's side here, and I'm going to show you what's going on. So I got the hose disconnect from the caliper. Since we're getting rid of it, I clamped it so we didn't lose fluid. And what I've done is I've taken the little circlip out, whatever you want to call him, this guy. And I took this bolt out here so I could flex the line. And we're trying to save it here. And so what I've done, this I wanted to bend slightly out of the way, but the metal tubing, I guess, was rusted, so it kind of just snapped. This is for the ABS. I guess you could unbolt it too, and I'm dumb and I didn't do that, so I would unbolt this instead of doing what I did right there. Does the same thing. It'll do the same thing. This is just a little metal protector for it. And I've got it flexed, and I'm just able to rotate it here. I took a vice grip to this and kind of broke it loose. And I'm just able to rotate the line and get it off. And so what we'll try to do is after this is off, we'll try spray this and heat it up maybe and try free this fitting up. Because that would be easiest way is to just free the fitting up to put it back in. But if not, we might be able to spin the new line on the same if we are careful about it. So, because I'm really trying to avoid. I mean, it's not that bad of a job, I guess. But you know what I'm saying? You know, the less brakes we have to do, the better, I guess, right? Maybe? That's what I'm trying to say? I don't know. It seems awfully... Oh, it's fluid film, that's why. It's all oily. Probably brake fluid from up top too, but I'm just trying to save this line, is what I'm doing. Another moment here I had, I guess you could have unbolted that bracket there and got a little more play out of it. That probably would have been the smart move right there. Instead of trying to force the line, but I think I got it. So I think we're okay. So we'll see. Well, this just turned into a not today job. Got the hose on. That's all good to go. I think I showed you that. Rear pad's on. Getting ready to put the rotor on. Well, I did. Try to put the front pad on and it doesn't clear. Apparently, the rotors I ordered are wrong. The hole diameter is the same. The center diameter is different. And this one's wider, so the pads hit the rotor, I guess. I don't know what I did. I did something wrong. Both of them are like that, so I need rotors still. That's annoying. Yeah, nothing ever goes right, does it? Nothing ever goes right. And I'd have found that out hours ago if I didn't bother with the used stuff that apparently is warped too or something. I don't know. So I guess I'll pack those up. Good luck returning those to Rock Auto. If you never open the part and it's clearly the wrong part, they're usually pretty good about it. Or defective. That's not defective. I made a mistake. So they don't like to give you your money back when you make the mistake. But I could lie, but I'm not going to. So I don't know what I'll do with those. I remember there being two choices for rotors, so I bought the bigger all-wheel drive rotors, and apparently they're not. Because I guess the rotors I tested with, these are off a front-wheel drive Town & Country. So I guess I don't have the big brakes, even though the diameter is the same. It's the diameter of the hub that's different. That's weird. Whatever, I'll just put them in a box, I guess. I don't know, I'll try to return them maybe. But I'm going to get the caliper on anyway, get the pad up there, and just bolting that up, and then bolt the hose up so we don't lose fluid overnight. And then I'll see if I can get some rotors into O'Reilly or Napa or something. Otherwise, I'll order some other ones. That's, that's how she goes, I guess. Ha, 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 ha. All right, well, I'll see you guys tomorrow or something. Howdy there. Well, it's been a couple days. You may notice done some trimming on that poor tree. There's a huge vine and a bunch of weeds under it, and all of the lower branches died, so it's been dealt with. Anyway, we're here. Those rotors have been turned. Those are the 4 rotors that we tried, the 2 that were on the vehicle, the 2 spares I had. I had O'Reilly turn these because I got sick of the wrong rotors. So apparently the ones that are all-wheel drive on Rock Auto and the 282 millimeter are wrong, and or the ones I have are the wrong part. I should measure these and see if these are, because I thought the diameter of these is the same as those. It's just the center hub is wrong, so maybe I can return them. I don't know. I'm not worried about it at this point. It was $30 a piece to turn van and truck rotors, quote unquote, which $120 was better than $80 a piece for new rotors locally. So it worked out, and I know I've got the right rotors. Some turned out better than others. He didn't take off very much material. I wish he took off more, but he just barely got at them. These 2 right here are the nicest ones. I think these are the ones we're going to go with. See, he could have taken a little more off of that one, but some of that's just rust. That'll be okay. That I'm not worried about. This one looks pretty good on the outside. A little bit on the inside. You can see where it was warped. You see how warped it was, because he didn't even get material off on this side yet. I wish he'd gone a little further, but I'm not worried about it. I think he got the warp out of him. This one looks like it must have had a groove in it, but he got most of it out. It's just barely there. And then this side, you can see where it just barely was starting to hit here, so it was really warped as well. But that's a good spare. This one's probably the worst of the 4. It's got 2 deep grooves in it, but it's no longer warped. As you can see, this one was also warped. All 4 were warped in varying degrees. So I think we did okay. Those are the 2 we're going to go with. We're going to throw those on quick. I've already got all of the new brake hardware done. So the new lines are already in. Calipers are present. We just got to throw the pads and rotors. And I ordered another set of pads just to make sure I didn't order the wrong pads, which I clearly didn't. Should take me really quick to throw these together. And I think we're going to go with the nicer pads I ordered, because the first ones were kind of budget. The second set was really actually nice. Look at this rock here. Go away. Not these. These are used, but these are the original ones we were going to put on. These are kind of just cheap pads. And then I've got right here these power stops. These are actually like decent pads. I think we're going to go with these, and then we'll just save those for a rainy day, or maybe we just go with those. I don't know. These are definitely nicer pads. We might go with those and just be done with it. So I'm going to do that quick. I got more brake fluid. I think I kind of just threw the can under here. Yep, that one's full right there. And hopefully we'll get the brake thing figured out finally. At least we'll get it back together, not of the driveway where it sits. Oh, geez, everything fits when you have the right rotors. That's crazy, isn't that? Both sides are done. All new hardware, essentially. So, I'll get them blade quick. So, the lesson here is don't be me. Don't try to reuse your old hoses. Well, to be fair, they seemed like they were working before, but man, did those gravity bleed immediately, and the flow was so much better. I haven't even properly bled them yet. I've got the tank hooked up over on this side. It's still gravity bleeding. Look at that thing fill up on its own. Check fluid. Fluid looks good. Don't make that mistake again either. But yeah, they're flowing so much better. Everything seems to be better. And I didn't even have to pump them yet, and they're both got fluid all the way through. So it should be a quick bleed just to fill the calipers, get it set. And then hopefully we shouldn't have to bleed the rears, but everything's been bled. It's got all new fluid. The fluid looks great, as you can see right there. Look at that. That looks healthy. So I think at least we're fixed. The brake issue's been fixed for sure. I bet you the brakes are going to be a lot nicer too. I bet you'll be stronger. They were always a little, but they worked. Now I think they'll be good. And hopefully we cured the shit. I know we cured something because all 4 of those rotors were warped. So, yeah, I think we're looking pretty now, at least as far as the brakes going. We know the rears are okay. Yeah. That's mint. So, I mean, honestly, I'm going to pump that pedal once or twice. It's already bled. So, very good. Very, very, very good. Yes, don't be me. Don't be a cheap ass. Get the hoses. All these hoses at this point are 30 years old on these vans. So, I just had these brakes tested. I had this pedal pressed. the brakes are so free I can spin both wheels by hand right now, and they release and they lock on good, and the pedal is probably the best it's ever felt. Like, that pedal is rock solid. So yeah wasted my time messing around when I should have done that from the get-go. To be fair, it didn't shake when it braked at first, and it did work. So in my defense, it did work, and then it stopped. Well, they worked too well. It stayed on. So yeah, I think that's gonna do her. I'll get these wheels on. Let's go for a final test drive. If that's good, what I'm gonna do is put the 15s back on it, test those, verify shake's gone there. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, get these back on it and go from there. Oh, and I swapped the vacuum canister for the cruise, so maybe that fixes the cruise too. And I put the cheap brakes in. These are the good ones. I saved them. I put the FEPs in there. It's one groove. It should be fine. It'll be fine. I could cut that groove in it myself if I wanted to. So we're good. Very, very, very good. At least the brakes are fixed. I don't know if the shake is fixed, but the brakes are fixed. Is that a Cessna up there? Me think so. You guys tell me. You can see the prop spinning. Look at that. Praise the cameraman here. I keep it in frame. Look at me go. Oh, I lost him. He's gone. Where'd he go? There he is. Well, sorry guys. I've lost him. I see him like without you guys, but I can't see him on camera. He's gone. Okay, so I bed in the brakes 4 times from about 30, 40 miles an hour to 0. That's something really important to do, is bed your brakes in. And we'll do that a couple more times here, but I'm gonna go get gas too. But let's see if the shake is gone. Please be gone. Or significantly better or something, I don't know. 55 feels good. 60 feels good. 65 feels pretty good. 68 feels good. Wow, 70 feels good. Oh geez, it's like we fixed it. Now let's bed the brakes down. Okay, to 55. Yeah, I'm gonna drive it in, get gas. That is the best that's felt in a long time. So I think the brakes weren't warped when I bought it, and then they warped shortly after, which kind of makes sense, I guess. Oh, pizza car, that's weird. I think that was it right there. I'll let you know when I get gas. I'll bring it back. We'll do a couple more test runs. We'll see. I gotta make sure these brakes get bed in good. Make sure they're not hot when I'm getting gas here. Nice. So much better. Yeah, I'm gonna swap the 15s back on it, see what we're doing there with those. But this is way better. All right, we got the brakes all rebled all the way around. Did get a whole bunch of air out of the front left, so that was definitely our soft spot, I bet. But we also got the 15s swapped back on it. Back to the original configuration from when I first bought the van, and I had put the tires on right before I'd even drove it anywhere, and it didn't shake originally. So we're original configuration now with new brakes. Let's see if that's still good. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Brakes feel a whole lot better, by the way. They are nice. All right. Shakes at 55. No shakes at 60. No shakes at 65. No shakes at 70. Ah! No shakes at 75. And no shakes at 80. Nope, she's mint. So the 16-inch wheels either need rebalanced or something, but these wheels are mint. I don't know why we were chasing them. I'm doing 82 and there isn't a shake in the wheel. On my private race course in Mexico. case anybody needed to know that. A little bit of wobble in the wheel when we brake above 70, but right now, as we come to a stop, and I mean, it stops nice. There, them brakes better be bed in. No pulls when we start up, so no brakes are hanging. Ha! There she is. She's mint. Finally! I am so happy with that. All right, we're gonna be driving this for a few days. I do believe that I've had this actually up for sale for a couple of months, and I've had actually quite a few offers and some interest. Some of you guys found it, but I didn't want to let it go with that shake, as well as everybody was kind of like lowballing me. Well, it's got a shake in it, meh, meh, meh. So I fixed it because I wanted to fix it anyway. I've been chasing this for months. So yeah, we're looking real nice. This is nice driving right now. This is great. I love this. Maybe I don't sell it. I have to. I need to sell something, and this thing's nice. And it's actually, I don't know, I've got quite a few offers for 2,000. I think 2,500 was the best offer, and I was asking, what, 29 or something? I don't know. I think that's pretty reasonable for all the work we've done. And also, it's a all-wheel drive town and country. And now it, like, is nice. That is nice. All right. So, yeah, that's why it didn't shake originally when I had done the tires, because the brakes weren't warped. But I guess after it sat for a year, everything was all sticky, constricted, rusty, whatever you want to call it. And the brakes warped as soon as I started driving it, which was after I'd done all that other work, which it threw me way off. I think that's going to be our root cause, is the brakes warped. And then, yeah, you know, that's it right there. So that, I think, is going to do it for the 94 Town and Country Beetroot, the 94 Town and Country. We've put, what, 3,000 miles on it or something now. I've done a lot of driving. Now I can do some real nice driving. I mean, I've been tolerating it, and it wasn't that bad, but now it's really good. So I'll drive it, and I am going to have it up for sale here, and so it might move on to another home, but hey, we saved this $500 Town and Country and put it back on the road where it belongs, and made it a little nicer along the way too. And you know, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. So who knows, I might sell it, I might not. If you guys are interested, email me, like genuinely, I'll sell it to one of you guys. I don't care. I'm looking for 2,900, but I'll, you know, I'm sure there's always leeway there. I don't know, we'll see, maybe not. So I'll leave it at that. Well, this is it. A new owner is coming to pay and pick up Beetroot here in the next 20 minutes or so. I think we did all right. For the $500 beater she was, I'd say we did pretty good at putting her back on the road. Kind of sad, but also I'm kind of happy. Got another one down the road, one less van in the yard. Yeah, we did a lot of work to this. I think I'm getting $2,500, which isn't bad at all for what we've, you know, I guess we put a lot of labor into this van. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? Isn't that right, Mr. Dilly? Yeah, we did. Notice we got the old snowflakes on, or they're not snowflakes. I don't know, what do you call those? But those are the original wheels on it. Got them back on it. So they got brand new tires on. No, it looks good. Needs another car wash, but she looks alright for now. think it's got 183, 480 miles on it now, which is quite a few more than we had. Yep, 183, 488 on that digital instrument panel. I just put that mount in it too, like a month ago. Title paperwork there. Yeah, it's not bad. Good van. I'm happy we saved it. It was a fun project. Definitely something cool to work on, that's for sure. Wish I could have driven it more, but hey, I got other things to do. And I got Gray Van. Gray Van's the daily. I think she's at 176, 700 now. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this series on Beetroot, the 1994 Chrysler Town Country that we saved for a whopping $500. Maybe we'll see it again someday. You never know. You never know. There she goes. Nice. Another one saved.